All right, 3x3 systems. Let's back up though. Let's do a 2x2 system, just to remind ourselves what the system is, how to do this combination or elimination method. 3x plus y equals 5, and 4x plus 2y equals 6. All right, that's old news. We should be able to do this, but maybe it's been a while. What would you like to do in order to combine those? Do you remember what we could do? I like that idea. Madeline, why did you say that? I like that. What would that allow us to do? So negative 6x minus 2y equals negative 10. Just make sure you multiply everybody by negative 2. As you saw in that last homework example, sometimes I'm also guilty of not distributing everything. So that's probably the main mistake, is you know what you need to multiply by, just make sure you go ahead and multiply everyone by that. The reason we did that is that now we can add these two equations and have our y's go away. So x equals 2. So that's like halfway home. How do we figure out what y is? Plug it in. Plug it in where? Just about anywhere. One of the originals preferably, but anywhere. And whichever one you think looks easier. The coefficients of 3, 1, and 5 looks simpler than 4, 2, and 6, but it doesn't matter. 3 times 2 plus y equals 5. 3 times 2 is 6, and if I move it over, I get negative 1. And then we like our answers as an ordered pair, rather than just x equals something over here and y equals something, 5 lines over and up, and keep it nice and organized. We like our answer as an ordered pair. Okay, so that's old news, right? You've done that probably 100 times. Probably not an exaggeration. Okay, but what we're going to do today is 3 variables, which means we need 3 equations. And so we call this a 3x3 system. So, significantly more complicated is the short answer, or the short explanation. So 3x minus y minus 2z equals negative 1. Conversation about the how neat to make your z's so that they stand out from your 2's. Negative 4x plus y plus 5z equals 9. And then x plus 3z, and look where I wrote that, because I like to keep it organized. Some people don't like that big gap because that looks funny, but I don't mind the gap. I like to see the z's and the y's and the x's all lined up. So you don't have to write it like that. That's just a personal preference. Some people don't like the gap. Other people prefer the things lined up. Doesn't matter. Okay, let's see. Well, when you have a 3x3 system, first step is to turn it into a 2x2 system. So get rid of one variable. Get rid of a variable, turn it into a 2x2 system, and then you know how to solve a 2x2 system. So this one has a super obvious choice for which variable we should get rid of first.
What?
Yes, because it's already gone from one of the equations. And on the other 2 equations, it's set up to be gone. Right? Like I'm going to combine these 2 and try to come up with some way to show what you're doing, rather than for your own benefit, but also for mine as I'm grading, so that you don't have 14 equations just all over the page, and I can't figure out what's happening. Let's combine those two, because that will make the y go away. So negative x, y's go away, plus 3z equals 8. Well, this is like as easy as they come, because now this one is already set up to add those two, because my x's will go away. 6z equals 18. So z equals 3. And now I need to start working backwards to get x and y. So I need to go sort of up a level to figure out what my next variable is. I don't want to come all the way back up here to x and y and z, because I only know z. So let's pick one of these equations that only has x and z in it. I think I'm going to pick the one that has a positive x, just 'cause that seems an easier thing to work with. But either one should give me the same answer. X plus 3 times 3 equals 10. So x equals 1. So I've got x and z. Now I need y. So I need to go back to one of my original equations. I don't know which one of those you prefer. First one has a negative y. Second one has bigger numbers. You got a preference? First or second? It shouldn't matter, right? It should get the same thing either way. Alright, well, no preferences. I'm just going to jump to the first one. 3 times 1 minus y minus 2 times 3 equals negative 1. Let's see, 3 minus 6 is negative 3 minus y equals negative 1. So negative y equals 2. So y equals negative 2. That's good. That's what I got second period, first period. But again, I don't want my answer just kind of floating around. I would like to put them, it's not an ordered pair, it's an ordered triple, and put them in alphabetical order. So 1, negative 2, 3. Giant. Yes, always put it in alphabetical order. That way we will know which one is which. And the worksheet today has a lot of X, Y, Z. I think there's an ABC, and I think there's an RST. One young man in first period was concerned that he'd have to sing the alphabet song to make sure he put the things in order. Surely not. Surely he was kidding.
So it's not like absolute value. It's
No, put them in alphabetical order. So X, Y, Z, A, B, C, R, S, T. When we're putting them in order. All right, I felt like that one was pretty easy. That one was sort of rigged to work out kind of nice for us because they already had one of the variables missing. Let's do another one. It's not quite as easy. X minus 4y plus 3z equals 3. Negative 4x minus 5y plus 3z equals 15. 3x plus y minus 3z equals negative 5. Give you a second to copy that down. Double check, right? If you write something down wrong, then instead of getting nice answers, you're going to get crazy answers. Okay, 3 by 3. I'd like to make one of my variables go away so that it turns into a 2 by 2. So which variable should we eliminate first? I would say z because it's already set up to go. You can always pick any of the variables you want and just do the multiplying stuff, but this one's set up to make z go away. So let's Let's see, let's combine the second and the third, because z will go away. So that would give us negative x minus 4y, the z's cancel, equals 10. Alright, now I need to use a different pair to come up with my second equation. If you use the same pair, then obviously you're going to get the same equation. That's not going to be helpful. So I used 2 and 3. I don't want to do that again. I've got to use 1 now. Which one should I pair 1 with? I mean, equation 1, should I compare, or not compare, should I use it with equation 2 or equation 3? I would say 3. It doesn't matter. You could do either one. But why did you pick 3? Yeah, the z's are already set up to go away. So let's combine those two. So that would be 4x minus 3y. The z's go away. That's why we picked those two. Equals negative 2. Okay, the hardest part is over. We got rid of one of the variables. We've now got a 2 by 2. Now, nothing's quite as easy on this one. What would you like to do to make something go away? There's like 4 answers to that question, but one good answer. Jacob? Yeah, I'd multiply the bottom one by 4. That would give me negative 4x plus 16y equals 40. Again, make sure you multiply everybody by 4. I'm just going to rewrite this one so they'll be lined up nice and neat. 4x minus 3y equals negative 2. Uh-oh, I must have messed something up. Hands are up all over the place. What'd that mess up? That should be negative 16y. Yep. Okay, now I can add those. The x's will go away, like we rigged that to happen. We meant for that to happen. Negative 19y equals 38. So y equals negative 2. Okay. Now it's just a matter of kind of going backwards, plugging things in, being careful. Got lots of options. Which one of those is better? Like, I don't know. I'm going to use the 4x minus 3y. 4x minus 3 times negative 2 equals negative 2. 4x plus 6 equals negative 2. 4x equals negative 8. X equals negative 2. So I've got x, I've got y, I need z. I've got 3 options for z. It does not matter which one I use. Any preferences on first, second, or third? Again, they should all be the same. I think I'm going to use the first one. That looks like the simplest numbers. I'll use the first one, negative 2 minus 4 times negative 2 plus 3z equals 3. Negative 2 plus 8 plus 3z equals 3. Let's see how to do multiple steps at once here. Negative 2 plus 8 is 6. If I move that over, 3 minus 6 is negative 3, and z is negative 1. And then let's put them in alphabetical order. Hopefully you don't have to sing the whole song to get to the end. X, Y, Z. Hopefully you got that part down. Negative 2, negative 2, negative 1. Okay. Today's assignment is worksheet 3-4, but just the odds. Tomorrow we'll do the even, so don't get your marker out and like black them out or anything. So turn to the next page, worksheet 3-4, 3x3 systems. Tuesday odds, Wednesday even, so you sneak peek at what we're doing tomorrow. Now, there's good news, more good news. So you only have to do half of them today and half of them tomorrow. Number 1 was example 1, so you've already done number 1. And number 2 was example 2, so you've already done number 2. So you don't need to redo those or like copy the work over. Like, no, we did those together. Just put a check mark on those, and we're done. All right, I want you to try number 3. We're going to do some of these together. So try number 3. By the way, the back of the page is free, and the next workbook page is free. So if you're a big writer and you're thinking you're not going to have room to fit all these in there, then you can use other space in the packet. Some of you are just going to write small and make it fit. That's all right too. So try number 3 and see what happens. So we'll make x go away because it's already gone from the first one, and it's easy to make it go away from the second two. So negative 4y plus 4z equals 8. And then that first equation was 4y minus 4z equals negative 24. Uh-oh, something weird's about to happen. I mean, maybe it seems good at first because they both go away. 4y minus 4y is 0. Negative 4z plus 4z is 0. Negative 24 plus 8 is negative 16. When does 0 equal negative 16? Never. So what do you think the answer to this is? No solution. There's one more today that's a no solution problem. So you kind of start peeking ahead. Well, you can't really tell by looking, but when you hit that, it'll happen. All right, answers are posted. One more hint, so there's one more no solution, and only one of them has fractions. I think it's number 9. The rest are integers. Yeah. What was that? I added these two equations because I knew the x's would go away. So there's my negative 4y and my plus 4z. On number 5, let's talk through number 5. Which variable do you think you want to make go away on number 5? I think there's an obvious choice. You could pick any of them, but I feel like there's an obvious choice on number 5. Z, right? Because if you combine these two, z goes away. And then if you combine first and third, z goes away. So 5's pretty straightforward. 7's another easy one. What variable would you make go away in 7? A. It's kind of set up to go. 9, a little bit trickier, but I still think there's a best choice. What variable would you make go away in number 9? I think I would go z. Y wouldn't be terrible. Not X would be kind of rough because there's all 3 different whatever. So usually you can figure out which one is easiest to deal with. So that's kind of your first job, is which variable do I want to make go away first? Once that happens, then you're down to a 2x2, and then you're cruising toward an answer, hopefully.